Everything on my channel is around growing up and never giving up. And part of growing up sometimes is moving. I know I've moved. After college, I moved to Boston. Now I've decided to up and move to Colorado. And because sometimes moving can be very daunting, you don't know what to do, you don't know how much it's going to cost, you don't know where to live, you have to have a lot of trust in the process and a lot of like confidence that you can figure it out because you can, to hopefully make your life easier and to also learn from probably what are going to be my mistakes. These next videos are going to be like moving. We're growing up, we're not giving up, moving edition. So let's get into it. I am moving across the country. I'm moving 1,500 miles away from Boston to live by myself in the mountains with the lions and the goats and the bears. Oh my. Not quite. I'm just going to move to Denver to start off. But I had to come up with a plan of like how I'm going to move. Because I own some stuff here. I have my car. I have skis and a bike, like, you know, Colorado vibes. We're going there. What I've decided to do is to use one of those like Packrat pod things that they like drop off and pick up and they ship it. And that actually brings me to today's sponsor, which is U-Haul. Just kidding, in my dreams. No, the person I'm seeing isn't actually coming with me, so we don't need to U-Haul, you know, like, that would be kind of cool. Did some YouTube lesbians get a U-Haul deal? Please tell me yes, because it's only right. Okay, jokes aside, I did go with the U-Haul, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to go over the 3 different options, which are pod storage, U-Haul, and the Packrat. Those are the 3 main that I found. We're going to go over cost. We're going to go over like lead time / like moving time, how long it takes. And also, if you're watching this and you're moving September 1st, please like go online, get quotes and everything now because things are filling up. Everybody's moving. Everyone's catching that quarter life crisis buzz and they're headed 1,500 miles away. And I want to make sure that you can get your moved. I'm going to go through the options I didn't choose and why. And then I'm going to end with what I did and show you like literally exactly how much it costs and everything like that. The first place that I looked up was pods because actually my neighbor is filling up their pod right now. Have you seen them? They're like those white ones with the steel. They have like a red, it just says pods on the side. I don't have a whole house full of stuff. I live with roommates right now, so I just have my room. So, and all of these, I'm getting the smallest size because I'm just one person. Grow up, don't give up. We're probably just one little soul. A little bit of soul searching. So these are like basically the cheapest prices you can get because they're the smallest. I'm going to put the dimensions of the pod here, but it's 8 foot high, 7 foot wide, and 8 foot long. So I was looking at days about a month from now. So like the 25th through the 28th. And if I was packing up my stuff on that week, then it wouldn't be arriving to Denver until Monday, like the September 13th. There is like about, for the pods, like a 2 to 3 week travel time. Oh my God. First things that I thought, I buy all my furniture at IKEA or I get it off the streets of Somerville. So no, I don't even have like all this stuff that I'm so worried about. And so I'm thinking like, okay, if I don't even have $3,200 worth of stuff to like ship, why would I pay that to ship it? I should just sell it and not have to bring anything. You can like call them and get a quote. You can also do it online, but then I think you have to call to like get the actual quote because she only gave it to me over the phone. I was like, oh, that's kind of expensive. And she was like, yeah, but these pods are like really good steel, like super sturdy and everything like that. She's like, if you're moving far, you should get a sturdy one. And I was like, okay, like great. Also, I have insurance, so why do I need a sturdy one? Because if you wreck my stuff, you have to pay for it anyways, so you know what I mean? So then, Packrat, again, you couldn't put your stuff in online and get the quote. You had to call. Literally called me like 5 times, but I guess that's, you know, sales efficiency. And, oh, And about the pods too, they were like, oh, we're filling up. Like, you can reserve your spot for $0 down. And I kind of knew I wasn't going to go with them, so I didn't. I haven't seen any pack rats in my neighborhood. I've seen rats. But then I looked up what the meaning of a rat was, and it was wealth and abundance. So I just embraced the fact that I was literally staring at 3 rats this week. Packrat is, from what I'm looking at on the website, is another like steel, built of steel. This is an important thing when we get to the U-Haul. So don't think I'm just like obsessed with the materials of life. I'm not actually at all. It's an 8-foot pod, the smallest option. So I was looking at packing again on the weekend of August 28th, and then they said it would be a 10 to 14 day delivery time. So I think it's a little bit shorter, and that's also business days. I don't know what about the pod one, so maybe they're like about the same. But the thing about Packrat is that they said they will match a competitor's price. So I'm not going with them, but if I were you and you wanted the steel and like whatever reasons that you have, you can go and get like Packrat will match the pod quote that you got, probably. But then again, if they're going to match it, why wouldn't you just go with pod? Like, they need to be offering me lower. You know what I mean? So those are the pod and the Packrat. Okay, now on to the last one. So this one is definitely the smallest unit. It's smaller than the other two, but I just don't have that much stuff, so I'm not really worried about it. And it did say, and like they have a lot of good videos online for all of them actually, where it shows you them like putting stuff in there. So you can be like, oh, I have a bed that's this size. So for example, this fits a queen size bed like standing up. And I'm like, oh, I have that. And I don't know if you can tell from my room, but like I live in like a slanted room, and so I don't have a lot of furniture that's like, I built everything up here, so like everything has to be disassembled, so it'll not take up that much space anyways. For U-Haul, it's a little different. You don't get different sizes, you can get different numbers of pods. So again, I'm going to go with the 1 pod. Don't need that much, but because it's U-Haul, there's different options. So like you can trailer hitch it yourself to and from. Just to keep it consistent with the pods that get dropped off and then they pick them up and then they drop them off, I just went with that. And so I ended up getting, also when I was checking out, because you could do all of this online, I didn't have to call anyone. I feel like my age group and younger, we don't want to have to call and ask for quotes from Pod and Packrat and blah, blah, blah. We just want to be able to type it in online. So like that was actually really good. And it was clearly the cheapest one. Another thing that was on there, you could like get moving boxes. Like I ended up getting a mattress cover just because I was like, oh, now I don't have to buy a mattress cover, like helpful. So that, I like that they took into account that stuff. You need to go reserve this right now. I wish I could give you a discount code, but I can't. All I can say is, I can't say anything. All I can say is U-Haul. For my next move, I would love a sponsorship for some queer content from me, some queer moving content. And yeah, so I reserved it today. I had to pay like $20 because I did buy that mattress cover and a lock, which was like $8. So I bought both of those, so I had to pay $20. But then I'm not going to be charged the truck delivery $129 until the 25th, which is when they're going to drop it off, and then I have until the 28th, or maybe actually no, and then I have until the 30th to load it. And then once it actually ships and gets delivered is when I'll pay the $1,300. So that's until September 13th, it says. And one of them, I think it's this one, it says that every day that it's late, they give you $50. So I'm going to be making sure that it's not late, because then I'm going to be getting my money. I'm trying to think of what the last thing I wanted to say was. So yeah, subscribe to my channel for Growing Up Not Giving Up. We're going to move. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you how much everything costs, because I have a spreadsheet. Engineering in me is really coming through with how much everything's costing me. And, oh, that's what I wanted to say. So I don't have to pay that $1,300 until September 13th. And I think, and I hope before September 13th, I'm actually going to be making a sit down video about my money and work blocks. Blocks is just kind of like, my interpretation of what blocks is just like, oh, what do you think about money and your work, and how is that preventing you from being exactly where you want to be money-wise and work-wise? So I'm making you this video. I'm where I want to be work-wise because I'm literally bringing you this content onto YouTube and I'm like just embracing it. But money-wise, I really want to open myself up to money and give myself time to get this $1,300 and receive. And we're going to go down a rabbit hole with that another day. I really hope that this video was helpful. I just think it's so important, growing up, not giving up, to take risks still and really go live your life no matter what is happening with your career or your family or your own doubts and fears about yourself and what you can do. Like, I'm here to tell you that you can do it. I'm going to do it and I'm going to prove it to you and just be another person that's like telling you that you can freaking do it. So, thank you for coming. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.